Entitled passenger rudely expects me to give up my first-class seat to sit in their seat in the very last row of the airplane right beside the bathroom door, but he ended up embarrassing himself. Being someone that used to fly a lot, I constantly was upgraded to business class, first class, or simply just upgraded seats using miles. Since this was a connection for me, I arrived and boarded later than most of the plane. As soon as I walked into the plane, I saw someone was sitting in my seat since I had been upgraded. Now, if you fly enough, someone sitting in your seat is not an uncommon occurrence. Me. Excuse me, I believe you are in my seat. Entitled person does not even bother looking up at me, waves his hand dismissively at me and said, let's just switch seats so I can sit beside my wife. Me. Sure, what is your seat? Entitled person. Snickerdoodle. Now I do not remember exactly what seat number he said, but it was the last row of the airplane. Aisle seat, right by the bathroom. Yes, I have had to fly in those seats in the past. Remember, my assigned seat was in the first class, business class section. Now, I have switched seats with people innumerable times in my life without a second thought, even first class seats. The look of someone getting to unexpectedly ride first class is priceless, but the way this guy was behaving and what he was expecting, this was not one of those times. Me. No, I am just going to sit in my assigned seat. Now he finally looked at me. Entitled person. Well, I want to sit by my wife, so I am not moving. Me. Well, if you want to sit by your wife, I am sure whomever is sitting way back there would be more than happy to switch seats way up here so you can sit back there with your wife. He didn't like that at all, for what could he really say at that point without sounding like a jerk? He just stared at me. Me. Now annoyed. Move. Entitled person. I am not moving. Ding. Darn right. I push the call button. Flight attendant. Yes, sir. How may I help? I hand her my ticket and say that he is sitting in my seat. She asks for his ticket, checks both tickets, sees his seat number, and in my mind at least, gave him a look of, seriously? Flight attendant. Sir, you need to sit in your assigned seat. Entitled person. I want to sit beside my wife. Well, I wasn't missing a beat and parroted my original statement about me being sure whomever was sitting back there beside him would be more than happy to switch seats and sit up here. Boy, oh boy, that obviously made him angry. Flight attendant. Looks at EP's wife and says, ma'am, would you like to switch seats so you can sit by your husband? EP's wife. No. Flight attendant. Continues in that all too familiar flight attendant voice that lets you know you have no choice. Well, sir, you have to sit in your assigned seat, so please gather your things. What a sad and pathetic sight it was seeing this grown man act like a baby, gather his things and then sulk towards the back of the plane. Yes, his wife sat beside me that flight and didn't join her husband in the back of the plane. No, we didn't talk to or look at each other even once, which was perfectly fine with me. Imagine dismissively expecting someone to give up their first class, business class seat to sit in the very last row of the airplane by the bathroom.